to this journey of discovery and creativity. I'm thrilled to have you here. Together, we'll explore ideas, sharpen skills, and uncover the tools you need to innovate and make an impact. Remember, every big step starts with a single idea, and that idea could be yours. Let's get started.
Welcome, friends, to the Invention Library. The fire crackles and the room buzzes with anticipation as we gather, just as our ancestors did, to share stories that inspire. Tonight's tale reflects the legacy celebrated in Professor Okusinga's Spring 2050 lecture series, The Remarkable Journey of Kenya's Tharaka Invention Academy. Settle in and let the glow of this fire and the brilliance of young inventors spark your imagination. The screen is ready, and so are we. Let's begin.
Hi there, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here because today's story is one you won't want to miss. It's full of inspiration, creativity, and a few surprises along the way. So, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Enjoy the story.
What will happen when your African neighbor becomes a billionaire? Consider a blueprint for African sovereignty through STEAM, a practical guide to implementation. Let's examine a strategic plan for science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, driven innovation, industrialization, and cultural independence. Let's review the Powell Memorandum as context for the case to achieve African sovereignty. In 1971, Lewis F. Powell Jr. drafted a strategy that reshaped U.S. law, business, and education by embedding conservative ideology into key institutions. His long-term, systematic approach transformed the economic and political landscape. For Africa, however, the fight is not just about influence. It is about sovereignty, survival, and self-determination. Without sovereignty, Africa has endured enslavement, colonialism, apartheid, and economic dependency. Today, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics is Africa's greatest opportunity to reclaim its future. By integrating AI as a tool, harnessing the diaspora, and strengthening strategic alliances, Africa can build global leadership, economic resilience, and cultural independence. This blueprint merges vision with execution, ensuring that Africa does not remain a consumer of technology, but becomes a global leader in STEAM innovation, industrialization, and self-reliance. Point number 1, STEAM-driven education, a foundation for self-reliance. What needs to be achieved? Universal STEAM education access from primary to university levels. African-led curricula integrating AI, automation, and creative industries. Pan-African STEAM research and development hubs. How to achieve it? Number 1, leverage natural resource wealth for education. Governments should allocate 5 to 10% of oil, mining, and energy revenues to fund STEAM schools, labs, and scholarships. Establish STEAM sovereign funds to sustain education without relying on foreign donors. Number 2, establish public-private partnerships for education growth. Encourage businesses to invest in STEAM vocational training, linking learning to industry needs. Enable tax breaks for corporations that fund African STEAM education initiatives. Number 3, develop low-cost, scalable STEAM learning models. Use AI-driven e-learning platforms in African languages to reach rural students. Establish mobile STEAM labs and makerspaces for hands-on learning in underserved areas. Number 4, strengthen intra-African STEAM collaboration. Universities must align curricula across Africa, allowing students to transfer credits and collaborate on research. Governments must fund student and professor exchanges to create a Pan-African STEAM network. Point number 2, research and development, turning knowledge into industry. What needs to be achieved? Pan-African research institutions focused on AI, robotics, and biotech. Indigenous knowledge integrated into modern science. Commercialization of African scientific discoveries. How to achieve it? Fund research through public and private sector collaboration. Require corporations that extract Africa's resources to sponsor STEAM research projects. Create joint research initiatives between African universities and private tech firms. Establish innovation commercialization programs. Universities should develop tech transfer offices, TTOs, to convert academic research into startups. Launch government-backed venture capital funds to scale African-led R&D into industries. Invest in high-performance computing and AI research hubs. Governments should fund AI supercomputing centers, allowing researchers to run complex models locally instead of relying on foreign cloud computing. Point number 3. Industrialization and technological self-reliance. What needs to be achieved? Shift from raw material exports to finished product manufacturing. Develop local industries in AI, biotech, space, and renewable energy. Reduce dependence on foreign imports. How to achieve it? Create special economic zones, SEZs, for STEAM-based industries. African governments should designate zones for high-tech industries with tax incentives. Establish Pan-African industrial parks where countries co-develop industries instead of competing. Protect African intellectual property, IP, and innovation. Establish African patent offices to protect discoveries and prevent foreign exploitation. African AI and software firms must control their own digital infrastructure to avoid tech dependency. Strengthen AI-driven smart factories and renewable energy grids. Governments must co-fund robotics and AI-driven manufacturing plants with private investors. Energy independence is key. Invest in solar, wind, and hydro energy grids to power industries without relying on foreign oil. 4. Strategic alliances. Who are Africa's true partners? What needs to be achieved? Greater collaboration with BRICS and Global South partners. Leverage African diaspora expertise and investment. Strengthen intra-African trade and technological cooperation. How to achieve it? Utilize BRICS for technology and industrial growth. African nations must negotiate AI and industrial knowledge-sharing agreements with BRICS instead of relying on Western tech firms. African businesses should expand trade within BRICS markets for technology exports. Mobilize diaspora funding and knowledge transfer. Governments must issue diaspora STEAM bonds, allowing Africans abroad to invest in research and innovation. Establish diaspora knowledge transfer programs, encouraging African professionals abroad to return home for short-term teaching, mentorship, and business development. Strengthen the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. African nations should prioritize intra-African trade in STEAM-based goods and services to reduce reliance on external economies. Standardize AI, cybersecurity, and IP regulations across Africa to create a harmonized technology industry. Point number 5. Funding Africa's STEAM revolution. What needs to be achieved? End dependence on foreign loans and aid. Create sustainable African-led funding sources. Ensure long-term financing for STEAM development. How to achieve it? Monetize public assets to fund STEAM growth. Lease government land for tech hubs, using revenue to finance universities and research. Issue African STEAM bonds to attract investment from global partners. Redirect natural resource profits into STEAM investment. African governments must negotiate fairer contracts with mining, oil, and gas companies, ensuring a percentage of revenue funds education and industry. Build sovereign wealth funds from resource profits to finance long-term STEAM projects. Create blockchain-based crowdfunding platforms. Develop Pan-African investment platforms where diaspora members, businesses, and individuals can directly fund STEAM initiatives. Final call to action: how to get involved today. What must be achieved and how you can do it. Governments: create tax incentives, redirect resources, and fund national STEAM programs. Businesses: invest in local STEAM startups, move R&D to Africa, and scale high-tech industries. Diaspora: invest in African STEAM bonds, mentor young African professionals, and return knowledge home. Universities and researchers: align education with industry needs and build commercialization programs. Individuals: choose STEAM careers, support African-made technology, and advocate for policies that prioritize innovation. Download the full STEAM Blueprint report at the link listed in the description. Join the movement. Invest in STEAM, share the vision, and take action. The time to act is now. Africa's future belongs to those who build it.